demoralize men. It's equal and opposite forces. It's light and dark. If you want to demoralize men, what you do is
Could you imagine if like thousands of men got up and started protesting? Like,
that's right.
What would happen?
So they feminize the men every possible way, and they also masculinize the women. And they do all of these things to remove the warriors from society. If you look in the olden days when the Romans conquered the Greeks, they killed all the men, all the masculine age men, all the teenage boys before they could grow up and fight. Yeah. So now what we do is we can't kill them, so we just psyop their brains and make them play video games and make them gay.
Yeah.
Welcome back to my channel, guys, and in this video we are going to watch another Andrew Tate meeting. In this meeting we are going to learn a lot of amazing lessons and a lot of amazing learnings. By the way, if you don't know, I'll let you know that I already make a second channel where I upload Tate speeches. I will leave the link in the description and also in the pinned comment, so must subscribe to that channel because it's a backup channel. I made this channel as a backup channel, and I'm also gonna upload Tate speeches, like new and old, both Tate speeches, so must check out that channel too. Anyway, let's start the video. But before starting the video, one more important thing. If you don't know, I have a Discord server where me and other members of a Discord server talk about money and how we can grow in life. You can also, if you want to connect with people, you can join my Discord server. I'll leave the link in the description. And please subscribe that channel and must check out my second channel. Enjoy your video. And one more important thing, I know in this intro there are a lot of announcements, but one important thing, I'm going to talk. I'm not going to talk in the mid. I'm not going to like give my reaction in the middle of the video. I'm only gonna talk at the starting and at the end of the video. So enjoy your video, guys.
Women are choosing this all day long, every day, because women's standards for a man have been set so high. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. What I'm doing is commentating on the world. In days of old, if you were born in Nebraska and you were the pretty girl in the Nebraskan town, you would meet the local man who was a mechanic and you would have a family. That was it. Nowadays, if you're the pretty girl in the Nebraskan town, you're flying to Singapore, you're flying to Tokyo, you're flying to Dubai, you're flying all around the world, meeting all these rich men. You're not going to talk to the guy in the Nebraskan town. You're going to meet all these rich men who are probably married, lying to you, and you know he's lying, but you're on a jet. Yeah. So like this is the life that a lot of women are choosing, and then when they finally get a man to be with them, then they complain about the way the world is. But this is a female choice. I'm just trying to talk about how women's liberation has put us in this very difficult situation where women's sexuality is celebrated. If you're an OnlyFans girl or if you're a porn star, it's celebrated all of the time. It's a great thing. No, but that's what society does, right? Yeah, women can sleep with whoever they want. They can be as promiscuous as they like. They can chase the top tier men all the time, and then they complain about the situations they find themselves in. And I'm asking, do you think, as a woman, that women are putting themselves in these positions?
Yes,
that's the question I'm asking.
Yes, they are.
Because do you think if a woman were to prioritize sexual exclusivity, she would have to take a massive decrease in the quality of man she was dating?
Please say again.
Do you think if a woman was to prioritize sexual exclusivity, she wanted a man who was only with her sexually and that is it, would she have to take a massive downgrade in the quality of man she was dating?
Yes, of course, because if she wants someone that is going to be loyal and only fucks her, she's going to downgrade. She's
going to have to find a man who can't fuck anyone else.
Exactly. That's the thing.
So you have a choice as a woman. That's the difficulty of it. Exactly. So I'm asking you girls on the famous show, what do you do, right? You wake up and you say, I don't want to be cheated on. I get that. I respect it. But you also want all these amazing qualities. Let me put it in another comparison I use sometimes that pisses off the mainstream media, because I compare people to cars and it pisses the mainstream media off. I want a Ferrari that doesn't break down. But Ferraris break down.
Yeah.
If I want a car that never breaks down, I get a Toyota.
Completely.
Girls say, I want a Ferrari that's as reliable as a Toyota. It's not real.
It's not
so what do you choose? And women are choosing the Ferraris. So I'm just saying, it's interesting. That's the only thing I'm asking. I'm saying that women complain about men all the time. But don't you think women are making these choices themselves?
Yes, they are. Of course they are. Everyone is making their own choices.
What do you think, Miss USA?
Well, I mean, I kind of want to get back to what you said earlier. You said you believe in polygamy?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, I mean, it's technically not cheating then, right? Then your husband didn't cheat. You guys are just both polygamous, correct?
No, he is polygamist and I am loyal to him. And I don't cheat.
See, that's very Arab, though. That's Middle Eastern.
I feel like that's a very
I guess not Middle
kind of
Eastern, but it's religious.
It's religious, yeah.
Exactly.
It's pretty common in most parts of the world still today, and it's not even just the Islamic world. In the Christian world, if you go to Rwanda or African Christian nations, the big G with the money He has 10 wives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he has the money.
Some of them.
true.
That's how it is. Yeah, they're all friends because they're like, well, I ain't got to work.
Yeah.
I ain't going to work a 9 to 5. Fuck that. I'll just share this dude.
Have you ever been cheated on?
Me.
Yeah.
No.
That was a yes.
I mean,
That was an
everyone. I'm
absolute
sure. I'm
yes.
sure everyone's been
You
cheated
just
on.
took a big breath.
Well,
That was a yes.
I'm sure everyone's been cheated on. That's the answer.
So when you were cheated on, did it hurt you?
Well, it was a long time ago, but of course it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
But I would argue that a man being cheated on is worse than a woman being cheated on. Because if a man's cheated on, his woman has an emotional connection with someone else.
Yeah.
And also just the act of sex in and of itself.
Well,
He doesn't have ownership over her anymore. Whereas if a man cheats, it's not the same.
Don't you think that cheating most of the time, right? And unless it's like a one night stand, don't you think most of the time you have to start somewhere? So it
course.
starts with like talking to someone,
Of
actually
course.
being interested in someone.
No, men just lie. We're not interested. We just pretend.
Yeah.
Don't you
say
have
what
to
the
be a
girl wants to
tad
hear,
bit
right?
interested?
No,
to
we
go-
just lie. We just
Okay.
lie. 100%. We're liars. We just sit there
right.
and we pretend that we just lie and get what we want. All men lie. Women wear makeup, and because men are attracted to what they see, and women love what they hear, so men lie.
Do
we
you
just
think
lie.
that in some circumstances, men that have cheated have gained feelings for someone they
Probably.
cheated for?
Probably. Of course.
Okay, so
But-
sometimes it's not just about sex.
Okay, I agree with you. So isn't the answer to all of these things to remove female liberation?
No,
isn't the answer to all these things to
I'm
go back to
also
arranged
saying-
marriages and just
No.
say to women they can't make their own choices anymore?
I'm
No,
also
I don't. I
saying-
don't think so. No, they have to make their own their own choices. Everyone has to make their own.
Yeah, but
choices.
they're all chasing the same dudes. I'm a human trafficker. What more do you want? I'm still getting chased. So they're all chasing the same dude. So what more could you do? The situation we're in is because women won't choose wisely. I mean, it's actually quite interesting, the world we live in now, because we've liberated women and we say women are equal to men in all ways, and women can make their own decisions, and they can't listen to their father, they don't listen to anyone, and women can do whatever they want, which is fine, until they make a decision they disagree with. When a woman does something and then she regrets it, she then she goes back on her decision and says it was rape or sexual assault. So she retrospectively changes her mind and the man gets punished for it, right? A woman will sleep with a man, her own decision, 10 years later, because he's rich and she's broke, it was rape. So how can a woman be equal to a man to make her own decisions if then she's going to say, I was tricked? Well, if you're so trickable, then you shouldn't be making your own decisions at all. If you can easily be tricked and manipulated, your dad should decide, not you. But if you can make your own decisions, you should stick to them.
Yeah. Lots of women don't have dads. Like, that's how bad the world is. It's true. Like, lots of, especially in Australia, like, lots of dads walk out on their women. So
Why do you think the dad walks out in the marriage?
Insecurity, I think.
walks out, or I don't know. To be honest, no morals. Maybe their family
No
didn't raise them
morals,
properly.
insecurity.
I don't know. I don't think.
But okay, but here's another question, right? So let's say you have a daughter. You have kids, don't you?
I have a lot of kids.
Okay.
I have a lot of kids.
Mashallah.
Good on
You have a daughter, right? So
Yeah.
she's at home and her mom's crying because dad cheated.
Yep.
What would you say to your kid?
Yeah, of course. I understand the question you're asking. And it's actually quite an interesting one because people say, oh, but if you have a daughter, what would you advise her? But this is the thing you have to do. It's not always about giving advice. It's understanding the battlefield. You have to say to your daughter, if you choose a man like that, he's going to give you a lifestyle and you're going to have fun and you're going to enjoy him. But don't expect loyalty out of a man like that. You're a fool to do that. You have to be very realistic. And the point I'm making about all of this is that we've liberated women. Women are now making their own decisions, and women are quite unhappy with their own decisions they are making.
True.
That's the point I'm making. And I'm saying if we want to fix that, the only answer is to make women's decisions for them, which women don't want.
But who will make the decision?
Society. Society should shame women for promiscuity and should say that you're going to get with a man and you're going to be with that man only and you're going to stay with that man. You're not going to run around we're normalizing a woman having a new boyfriend every month and it's very normal. Well, then what do you expect her to do? And how do you expect her to not have her heart broken? I would argue that a woman is not biologically designed
To go with multiple men.
to have a lot of sexual partners.
Well, course.
I think every time a woman sleeps with a man, she gets mentally damaged. And the more men she sleeps with, the more mentally ill she ends up. If you find a woman who slept with 50 dudes, she's fucking crazy. All of them. Women can't deal with the breakups over and over and over and
It's
over
not
like a
even
man
about the
can.
breakups, because when you have sex with a person, it's an exchange of energies. You don't know what kind of energy you're taking from that person. So this makes you go down if the person that you're sleeping with has a very bad aura and energy. So this is why you should choose your partners and have the lowest possible.
So for me to protect my daughter, surely I should choose her husband for her, no?
Yeah.
I think you should have a big say in who she's going to be with.
So we're back to feminism, arranged marriage. Is that where we are? Because I'm up for that. I'm up for the arranged marriage.
But not everybody is you, or not everyone is like up to the standard as You are so like you can't, it's like you're talking to like as a generalization, but
Right.
it's like most men aren't the same way as you are. So
Yeah.
should they be making decisions for their daughter? Probably not. They're probably an idiot. Like,
They're probably gay.
they're probably going to make the wrong decision.
They're probably gay.
and
So-
ruin their daughter's life.
Yeah, so we have a massive lack of
the top men, they should arrange that of 100%. Like,
good.
but the long
I don't know.
run,
To conclude the cheating thing, I strongly believe that neither party should cheat, only because like STDs wouldn't exist and disease wouldn't exist and there wouldn't be heartbreak and etc. So I just don't believe either party should cheat.
But this is what life is made of.
Unless you are
But it
polygamous
will happen.
and you're
But this is
that's
what
your
life
stuff.
is made about.
I said,
Okay, I understand your point. So now let's
Okay, you
let's move on to the
understand.
next
Alright,
question
cool.
because we're going to run out of time. So the next question, let me ask.
Cool.
One sec. So, do you think the primary objective of being with somebody should be to have a family? Why do you think nobody has children anymore?
Can I answer?
Sure. Why does nobody have kids anymore?
Okay, because men and women. Men are afraid to have kids with women. Why? Because women don't love their kids anymore and they use them against the men. For them, it's tools.
That's one thing. Yeah. True.
So the woman right now just go and have sex with like a random guy that is rich. She knows that he has money, Lambos, castles, etc., etc. She goes and she gets pregnant from that man. Why? To secure her future, kind of. So her kid is not her kid because she doesn't love him the way she should. The maternity is gone.
Okay. And why do men not want? So that's the reason men don't want kids for the same reason because they're scared of it.
Exactly.
Okay. Interesting. What do you think, Miss USA? Why are people not having kids anymore?
It's because of the whole options game, right? So social media has become such a humongous part of our lives. I mean, think about it. We're on a podcast, right?
Yep.
But, you know, the options, guys have so many options. So that is like, okay, you're 30, you're 31, you're 32, keeps going, you're 40, still no kids, still no family. It's because you're like, oh my gosh, should I go with this girl or should I go with this girl?
Yep.
Same thing for women. It's like too many options. Oh, should I be with this successful man? Should I be with this loving man? So it's like that just prolongs. And then we have people that are having kids at 35, 36, 37.
Yep.
And I think that's really one of the reasons why people aren't having family and kids anymore. They're just so busy with the lifestyle.
No, that's good.
Can
That's
I say
good.
something else?
One second, Miss Australia. Why is no one having kids, Miss Australia?
Why is no one having kids? I think my opinion's different. I think people aren't having kids because they don't care about their legacy or like their parents. Like for me, like a lot of people ask me like, oh, like who's your mum? Like who's your dad? Like, and now like I feel like I really want to have kids for that, like for the out of respect of my parents.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've kind of like lost touch with family morals. People don't have strong family morals anymore and they don't care about the legacy of their mum and their dad, and so they don't
Yeah, they don't care about their bloodline.
That's what I think. Yeah, they don't care about their bloodline and their last name or like having sons. Like that used to be very important to have many sons and like,
Absolutely. Sons are the heirs.
I don't know so much about there's lots of options and all that stuff, but I think that's like the main thing, like instinctually.
It's like living memories.
Yeah,
you live on through your children.
If you want to protect your family legacy, you will have children. It'll be instinctual to you. That's what I think.
All right.
Can I just
sure,
add something,
sure.
please? Okay. As a female perspective, okay, I'm not gonna talk about the men in this.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I believe that a woman shouldn't choose a husband to have kids with. She should choose a father to her kids.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, because if she chooses a husband and then tomorrow they split up, okay? Who is gonna be in pain? It's gonna be the kid.
Yeah.
So this is why a woman, the day she decides to have kids, she needs to choose the right partner. Why? Because he's gonna be a good dad to his kid. Whatever happens between them, they can go crazy between them. They can fight each other. They can have a lot of things. But as long as she knows that the dad is a good dad to his kid, then everything is fine.
All right. So I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna ask for your point of view on it. I would argue that men are the builders of society. Everything you see around you, men have built. That's why women say, oh, fuck men. It's pretty stupid because the plane you fly on was built by men, and the roads you drive on were built by men, and the phone you use was built by men, and the buildings you live in were built by men.
But the
and
Wi-Fi that we use
the sewage system was built by men. Men build everything.
Yeah.
And the world is more built than it's ever been. So I feel like men are still doing their jobs.
Yes.
And I feel like women are in charge of the reproduction. Women are supposed to give us children.
Yeah.
And if you look in the Western world, not in Africa and not in poorer countries, but in the Western world, it's an unfortunate side effect of female liberation that women don't want kids anymore. Yeah. So in all Western countries, population is collapsing. Women are not having kids. So men are still building. women aren't doing their job, which is to have children, because, and I believe all of you made a valid point, but I actually think that Miss USA made a fantastic point. I think women understand that when you have a kid, you're out of the dating market. So you sit there and you go, I've got this guy, he's all right. But I'm looking at Insta and he hasn't really, I'm looking at this guy or this. Do I really put all my eggs in this basket, right? I've got so many choices and I get one chance at this and I want these massive dreams, which once again falls back into what we were discussing earlier. Because now you're chasing that type of guy who will give you a kid. He might give you some money, but he's busy and he's away. And he's not lonely. So here we are. So would you agree with me that it's women who are failing in society today? Because men are still building everything, but women aren't giving enough children to support society. And now we have to open our borders and import people from God knows where because they still have children. Yeah. That's the reason this thing's happened. If you look at a country like America, the reason they won't close the border is because the native people of America don't have kids. And the elites who are in charge, they need slaves. And they need slaves to work jobs. So they're just going to leave the border open, let God knows who in, even if they commit crime, even if they bring drugs, even if they destroy the society, so they can get their slave class to work for minimum wage. Now, if there was enough domestic people having families and having children, they wouldn't be nearly as tempted to do that. But there isn't. Women refuse to have kids nowadays. Yeah. So would you argue that it's women who are failing Western society because they refuse to reproduce because they're too busy chasing Instagram likes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, women are completely failing.
I'm asking. Yeah. I'm trying to ask.
And this generation women are failing.
Well, men are also, like chasing the Instagram lifestyle as well. Nobody wants to work a traditional 9-to-5 anymore. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, Everybody wants, like, just like you said earlier, the Ferrari, the millions, you know? So there are a lot of men out there that aren't okay with the traditional lifestyle and the traditional minimum wage.
Yep.
So,
right. Next question. We're gonna speed this up because we have a few. Do you think women should vote?
Yeah.
I don't vote. I don't think I've ever voted. I don't give a shit. I don't even know who the.
Why do you think women should be able to vote and why?
I think everybody should have the right to vote because that's going to lead down to who runs the country and our school system. And if we want to talk about reproducing and where your kids go to school, you kind of have to care about who's leading, right? So I think everybody should have the right. Whether or not you want to vote, that's up to you. But
yeah,
yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, there's no one I want to vote for. That's why I don't vote. I'm like, I don't like any of you, so I'm not voting.
Yeah.
I understand not voting. I'm just asking if you think women should be allowed to vote. Have you heard the argument? Yeah. Have you heard the argument for why women shouldn't be allowed to vote?
Why? No, I would love to.
They're emotional or something. Is that what it is?
I'm not saying I advocate for this. I don't want to be called a misogynist by the BBC. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
Well, of course, there's the fact women are scared, and secondly, women make emotional decisions. So, if I were to say to you right now, if you were to vote in America, who would you vote for? Who would you vote for?
If I could vote?
Yeah, in America.
I'd vote for Trump.
Yeah,
Trump?
100%.
I think I would vote for Trump as well.
Yeah.
Trump?
It's one of those things where it's like the lesser evil. And they're both terrible options in my opinion, right?
I don't think that Trump is a terrible option.
No, they're both really bad options, right? But like the lesser evil, I think you're just gonna have to grin and bear it.
Would you argue that the majority of Kamala's voters are females and gays?
Yeah. And Chinese and stuff.
Yeah.
Would you argue that it's the most feminine members of society, women, gays, trannies, etc., that are voting for Kamala?
Yeah. 100%.
So you're saying that she's the more evil option, and we're talking about how women are going to vote her in.
Yeah.
So should women vote?
I don't think that they're all going to vote for her.
I think so being silent and complacent, I believe that is a form of evil. So
me not voting.
No. So
evil. Piss off. Get off the podcast.
No, I mean if you're
back to Australia.
Back to vote.
If it's if we're on this serious topic of like who's gonna be in control of a country, and I think that Kamala and her team are complacent and silent in big issues, and I think that's fucked up. And I think Trump has a bigger voice and he voices all of his opinions, and hell, like I kind of respect that more.
I agree, but
do you think women should vote?
Yeah.
back to the actual question. Yes, I think everybody should be allowed to vote.
Yeah, everybody.
Men or women.
But you know what? I think you are right. Like,
because
women,
look, I just disagreed with a woman being, or not a woman, but Kamala Harris being in charge of the United States. So.
But don't you think that women, now that we've just analyzed that women are making the wrong choice because they're emotionally led?
yeah.
Can you trust emotional people to make very logical decisions?
Well,
No, you cannot.
Well, if you look at the state of the world, it was a bit better when women weren't voting, right? Is that not accurate?
Misogynist! Misogynist!
Is that misogynistic?
Yeah, you're
But it's true.
misogynistic.
But you know, like, who are the people that empathize with, like, you know?
Well, would you rather
Transgender
would you
people and
rather
stuff,
a
it's
woman
women.
vote?
It's all women, yeah.
Yeah.
Question for you
So,
though:
who are
would
they
you
gonna vote
rather a
for?
woman vote or a gay man?
Well, they're the same to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that's.
They're the same to me.
Yeah, that's true. So
They're
what
both-
you're
they're
saying is women and gay people can't vote.
Well, I think...
Right, then you have to, just include that in there with what you believe.
Well, the point of voting is to enact your liberty.
Emotional people.
Absolutely.
All right, so the point of voting is to enact your liberty, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, and we would argue that...
Freedom of speech.
Okay, so we would argue that women and gays are naturally more subservient than a strong masculine man, right? So it would be women and gays who are more happy to vote in slavery because they're more happy to just take it and be like, oh, okay, well, you're the boss. I'll just take it and accept it. Whereas a masculine man doesn't see why he needs to be cucked to the government. Why should he? So women are more likely to say, she's nice and she made a funny joke, so I'll vote for her, as opposed to sit and say, I don't want to be a slave and I'm prepared to die for it. Let me ask you a question. Do you think politicians are actually in charge of anything, or do you think it's all just a big psyop?
It's all big psyop.
It's all, yeah.
Okay, so if it's all a big psyop, and let's argue to keep things simple, let's say the money and the banks are in charge of things. They've already tried to kill Trump 3 times. So when the bank says we're going to put all the Americans into debt and they call up Trump, do you think he's more likely to say no, you're not, than Kamala? Or do you think Kamala will be afraid of getting assassinated,
Yeah, she'll be afraid.
scared, and go, okay, make them all slaves, I don't care, I'll just hide and not do press conferences?
Yes.
Who's more likely to stick up for your rights?
Trump.
They've already tried to kill him 3 times.
Exactly, and this
Because,
is exactly
because
the
he's
reason
sticking
why,
up for you.
And he's
This
still
is exactly
going.
the reason why they are trying to kill him.
But there's still women saying, no, we need Kamala because she's a girl and she's funny. Does that make is that the kind of people you want voting?
No.
Do you think that's why people are voting for Kamala? Is
Ask
because
them.
she's a girl?
Oh, well, then
I
what?
actually do have that question.
Well, yeah, well,
Is
well,
that
what,
what people think?
Well, what policy has she done, or what has she done fantastic in the last 4 years that would inspire somebody to vote for her? The country's worse than ever.
But you see, here's the thing. This is why it's really important to look at the team behind the president and not just the president.
I don't think that's true at all, because I think that if you look at the last 4 years, you can see that women, because they are more easily psyoped by the media and they're more afraid of standing up and saying something controversial because they don't want to be hated because they can't defend themselves, you can actually literally look. Let me ask you something. Joe Biden was as sharp as a tack and was a fantastic president. Then he did the debate. The next day, the media all turned on him on the same day. Kamala was invisible. Then she's the Messiah next day. And the people who loved Joe Biden and said he's the best man ever, 24 hours later saying, no, Biden's gone. Okay, Kamala's the best one ever. Do you think these people even think?
No, they don't.
They just repeat what they hear on the TV. Now, who's likely to repeat what they hear on the TV? Somebody who's strong and not afraid, or somebody who's feminine and emotional and scared and doesn't want to get in trouble and doesn't want the backlash, and doesn't want the heat, and doesn't want the pain, doesn't want to lose their job, doesn't want to get canceled, doesn't want to get shot?
Of course, the woman.
The women. Yeah. So women, this is a question to all of you. Let's say I wanted to control a population. Would I want strong masculine men only who can vote, who are interested in liberty, who are prepared to die for what they believe in? Or would I want a whole bunch of women who vote so I can just lie to them via the TV and get what I want? If I was in charge of the world and I was trying to psyop a population into doing whatever I wanted, which is basically give up their liberty, would I want women voting or not?
I think it should be a 50-50. Because this world is made of men and women.
Of course it is. I'm not, of course, I understand that. The thought experiment is, if I was an evil man, and I'm evil, and there's a country out there, and I want to take over this country, and I want to make everybody a slave, and I want to steal all their money, and I want to go to war in the Middle East, and I want to inflate the currency, and I want to be a bad person, who do I want to be voting? Do I want strong masculine men who aren't afraid to do the hard thing because they're supposed to do it and die for what they believe in? Or do I want women to vote, gays to vote, trannies to vote, so I can just talk bullshit on the news and they'll vote me in?
No, men.
If only men are in charge, it's a lot harder to enslave a population. Would you agree?
True.
So isn't it women who are voting in the slavery that we now see in the West? Isn't it women who go, oh, but I feel bad for the trannies. Let them talk to our kids. I feel bad for the immigrants. Let them come without a border. I feel bad. Kamala's a girl boss. Just vote her in. Don't you think women are destroying everything?
Yes.
Miss USA? I'm interested, especially because Morocco, she's from Morocco, but Miss USA, you can vote. So I'm curious. Do you not think
vote,
do you think women are voting in the worst politicians who are most insane? Or do you think men are? And when I say men, I don't mean the gay little faggot dudes for Kamala who love dildos. I'm talking about real men.
I think that no one's doing their research. There is a lack of research that's being done. Nobody cares to learn about the past and history, and men included. So I think
if you imagine a straight man, an alpha male, who's he voting for?
He's voting for another alpha male.
Well, Trump.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So who's voting for Kamala? Women.
Yes, and LGBTQ.
I do believe in that. Yeah.
So this is my question: if you had a situation where only alpha males could vote, let's say tax-paying men who pay tax, men who pay into the system, who work hard, who pay for the country, and only they can vote. Would you agree that they would make choices which are more based around liberty and strength and protecting the country and protecting their families and protecting their borders than women who vote for let's be nice to everybody?
Yeah, it all goes down to like family values at the end of the day, right? But there is a serious twist on everything right now, and everybody's just got it messed up,
What does freedom mean to you, Miss Australia? What does freedom mean? What's freedom? Do you think you're free in this world? Do you feel free? Talk to me about freedom. I'm interested.
We live in a matrix.
I don't know, not really.
Escape the matrix.
We definitely do live in a matrix, I think.
Freedom, I don't know.
What does freedom mean? Do you think women were more free when they had to obey their fathers and their husbands, or are they more free now?
Before.
I personally have never
They were more free.
Okay, let's see, Miss Australia. What do you think? You think you were more free when men were in charge, your father, your husband, whoever, he was the boss and you had to obey him, or do you think you're more free now? Now that you can do whatever you want, do you feel more free? I'm curious.
It's hard to say because I haven't been in the situation of like men being in charge, so I don't know, like maybe I would hate that.
Do you think the world's free currently?
No.
Why don't you feel free? You can do whatever you want. You can run around and you can party.
This is not
and
freedom.
you have
Really
Instagram.
This is not freedom. This is not freedom.
I don't know.
This is not freedom. Freedom is not about making like a decision and just go and follow it and do whatever you want. Freedom is just like feeling safe and feeling like that you are between safe hands and that someone is in charge of everything, so you don't have to think about things.
But the world isn't free. You can't post on Instagram whatever you want to post and it's all fine. It's all censored. Like,
that's true.
I don't think it's free.
So
I personally have posted things before that have been taken down because of what it's saying.
We are slaves to technology. Nobody is free. Think about it. Like, look at all the technology we have around ourselves. Like, it's like we're slaves to our phones.
Yeah.
We're slaves to the news.
The media.
Yeah.
Like in Australia, we get false news. Like, if you want to find real news, what's going on online, like you have to go to, like,
Oh yeah. Okay. So
social media accounts.
I agree. So you would say that we're living in a slave society where they lie to us all the time.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
Okay. So who do you think should be in charge of resisting this?
Men. Who should be, like, gender-wise?
Okay, like,
No, just in general. If we're living in a slave society, who should fight against this?
Okay, can I say something about this?
Sure.
I think it should be men. But when you go to like protests or things, who do you see, like personally in Australia, who do I see the most who's out there protesting and fighting and standing up against things that are wrong? It's mostly women.
I actually see a lot
It's actually
of
mostly
women.
women. When I go to protest for like
Yes. I agree
Gaza,
with you.
Palestine, dare I say,
agree with you.
it's a bunch of women. Like, there's a few men, but where are they? I always look
do you
around
think
and I'm
that's-
like, where are all the men? Because the men are we need help. Like, we're all out here squealing with our little voices,
And
like,
if
free
we're
fucking
emotional,
Palestine, and there's no men there. Where are all our
Yeah.
men helping us?
And if
Like,
we're emotional, do you think
so
that that's
do I feel
probably a
free?
good thing?
No, not really. Like,
Maybe it's a good thing that we're a little emotional because,
but it's like, I don't, like, of course I'm emotional. Like, women are emotional.
We care.
But do I want to be out there protesting? No. Would I be if the men were doing it?
Okay, so you agree.
So-
Okay, yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. So you agree that men should be in charge of resisting slavery.
Yeah, but they don't.
Okay.
So the women do.
Okay, but
You know what I
we
mean?
agree that. I mean, I agree. I believe that.
Yeah.
So you agree that men should be in charge of resisting slavery, right?
I agree, but I don't think that they do that.
Okay, but if
So-
that's the case, then why don't you think only men should vote? They're the ones who are in charge of resisting slavery.
But they're not resisting it. How are they? They're not at all.
Okay,
so
but
why, like, you know,
That's why I think
Slavery
not.
is always going to be a part of this
what are the
world.
men doing? They're fucking sitting in their rooms, sitting on the couch playing video games. Like,
I'm telling you, you know,
why
both-
should they be voting? I feel like most of the men I meet are more of a
Yep, that comes with the whole
being
like
me. I feel like I'm stronger than most of the men that I meet in Australia, and I'm like, I don't want to be like, I want to be.
everybody's
Feminine.
busy.
You just
with
want
their
to be a
kids.
woman. You
Yeah,
want to be taken
of
care
course
of.
I want to
You
be
just
a woman and I want to be feminine. I don't want to be out fighting and shit, but
sometimes
I have
we
to
have
because
to.
the men aren't doing it.
Yeah, lack of masculinity.
sometimes we
Yeah,
have to.
exactly. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
like
That's
it's
the
not
thing.
like I think that it should be like women controlling the world,
But
women
what's the
voting and
reason
blah blah blah.
behind the
But
lack?
it's because of the men. Like the men aren't
What's the
stepping
reason
up.
behind the lack?
Yes, what's the reason behind the lack of masculinity today?
Modern day social media.
Not
is-
even.
Of course it is.
Social media is part of it.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What else? You can look at the weaponization of feminism. The people in charge of the world. Please understand something. They don't care what color you are, and they don't care if you're a man or a woman. If a billionaire meets a billionaire, do you think they say, "Oh, you're black"? They don't give a shit. They don't care about race. They don't care about gender. They don't care about religion. They don't care about what country you're from. If a billionaire from America meets a billionaire from India, do you think they give a shit? No, because they're billionaires, right? So the people who are in charge of the world, they don't judge each other by anything besides their wealth and their power. So these people want to make everybody else slaves. So they haven't empowered women because they care about women. They've empowered women to take away the power from men so that men don't resist the slavery. Because you just made a fantastic point. You said women are protesting and we're squeaking with our little voices. Those are your words.
and we don't want to be.
Those
but
are your
we
words.
have to.
Which is fantastic because what women can do is they can complain.
Yeah.
But what men can do is they can fight.
Yeah.
So if you have 100,000 women at a protest, you have a whole bunch of squealing.
It's ridiculous.
If you have
ridiculous.
if you have 100,000 men, you have a revolution.
Exactly.
You have a war.
When I've been walking,
So they
in
don't.
protests-
They fear men.
Yeah.
They don't fear women.
Yeah.
You girls can complain. They don't care about women
We're
complaining.
like
They
all
don't care because
walking,
nothing
like,
happens.
We're all walking with like tears in our eyes.
Nothing happens.
Yeah. 'cause
Whereas if
we're
100,000
fucking
men
crying.
come, which
Yeah.
is why they try and demoralize men. It's
Yeah.
equal and opposite forces. It's light and dark. If you want to demoralize men, what you do is
Could you
try and
imagine if like thousands of men got up and started protesting? Like,
That's
what
right.
would happen?
So they feminize the men every possible way, and they also masculinize the women. And they do all of these things
Yeah.
to remove the warriors from society. If you look in the olden days when the Romans conquered the Greeks, they killed all the men, all the masculine age men, all the teenage boys before they could grow up and fight. So now what we do is we can't kill them, so we just psyop their brains and make them play video games and make them gay.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid of men standing up doing the right thing.
Yeah.
If you're like me and you stand up and tell the truth, they'll throw me in jail.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to tell the truth.
delete your social media.
They'll delete your
accounts.
social media. They'll throw you in jail. They'll lie about you in the news. They'll say you're a human trafficker. They'll ruin your life. They'll take all your money because you're not allowed to resist.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, but if
Not
you're
being
but if
allowed
but
to
if,
tell
but if you're a faggot, you can be as rich, you can be as famous as you want.
Yeah,
they don't care, right? So they fear masculinity, and that's the reason that femininity has been weaponized to the point it has.
Yeah.
So it's something very interesting when you talk about feminism and women say, "Oh, women's rights," and they believe the people in charge care about women's rights. They don't. They just care about damaging men as much as possible because it's only men who are going to resist the slavery that come for everybody. It's only the men who are going to stand up and say no, enough. And that's why they're so desperate to get rid of men. And when I say this, people say there's still men. No, you have males.
Yeah.
But you just said it yourself. You don't even know a man in Australia. You can't find a fucking man. There's no men.
It's true. Yeah.
There's no men. And then you see men now on the TV. I see it on Twitter all day saying, we need Kamala begging for a chick to be their boss. They're fucking faggots. You're gay if you want that. You're gay. There's no straight man begging for a chick to be the president. You're gay.
true.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. I don't care if you have a wife. You're still gay. Get an AIDS test. You're gay. You're gay.
Well, there are a lot of men that have wives and are gays.
Well, there you go. So we proved it. They all vote for Kamala. So this is the situation we're in. So the point of this podcast is I'm just trying to inspire you to think a little bit. Because if you think and say, okay, well, we need more masculine men, and masculine men are the ones who are going to resist enslavement, and masculine men are the ones who are more prepared to die for what they believe in, and masculine men understand the world at a deeper level than most people, then surely the logical conclusion of that is that masculine men should vote. Yeah. Surely the conclusion of that is if we only let boxers and men from the army vote, our country will be better.
Yeah.
than
Yeah,
if we
it would.
let an 18-year-old Taylor Swift fan vote.
Yeah.
What the fuck does she know? What does she know?
Nothing.
She just votes for who Taylor Swift
Do you
says.
think we're all Swifties? Or
Well,
something?
no, but,
I don't like Taylor Swift.
no, but this is the point, right? So you have an artist like Taylor Swift, who all
Taylor Swift stands on a stadium and says "fuck the patriarchy" to
Yeah.
like a group of women.
That's right, and
have
she-
you
and-
seen that? She's like screaming it, and then the girls like chant it back, and it's like.
and she mobilizes millions of women to vote in a
Yeah.
direction. Is that a
Yeah.
good thing or a bad
And that's
thing?
like
It's a bad thing because
thousands of
actually
women.
this is something that has been planned by the Matrix.
Of course it is.
Because they send her, you know,
girl, the
because she has
Matrix
that big
Illuminati.
influence,
Yes.
so many followers,
Yes.
and she has like teenagers, 18, 19, 20, 21, you know, and they have the right to vote now. So the thing is,
But they don't even
she
know
is
that,
putting
Alec.
ideas on their minds so they can fuck up the society.
Yeah, the Matrix wants women to vote.
Exactly.
Because the Matrix uses women as a tool to destroy society, not because women are bad people, but because they can be psyoped easier than men can.
Yeah, they can be very easily.
So this is the end of the video, and let's have a conversation. What we learned from this video, and we not like I suggest you, if you want to go, you can go. But I suggest you to listen to me and my commentary and my perspective on this video. But because we not only talk about what we learned from this video, but we also talk about out of the box. And in today's video, we're gonna have a conversation. We're not only gonna talk about what we learned from this meeting, but we have a conversation between you. I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk on a. Like I'm gonna talk about something important. I'm gonna have a conversation with you about something important. Yeah, recording is on. So the thing is, today we are going to talk about talking and taking action. Talking and taking action. That's two things. And in today's video, we are going to do that. We're going to talk about it, and I will convince you to take action. You know, a lot of people just talk. A lot of people just talk how they can make money, how they can do every other thing. You know, let me tell you something. When I was 14 years old, I used to search on Google's how to make money by watching ads, by watching videos, by clicking the links, by doing service work, by doing any other, like by reviewing musics. And these all are bullshit scams. I used to watch videos on YouTube how to make money, easy money, by just typing. Like, how crazy is it? By just typing, you just need, like, by typing shit. I used to be that guy who talks about money, who talks about how he's going to be a billionaire in some years, but he didn't take any action. I used to be the guy. But in order to be someone, in order to become someone, you need to take action. By talking about money is bullshit unless you're doing something. Like, I know guy in my Discord server, I know guy who are doing YouTube automation. And we talk about how we can improve our channel, how we can make new channels, how we can open new channel. By the way, I just opened a second channel as a backup channel. I upload emergency. I don't upload emergency meeting there. I upload Tate's pages, new Tate's pages, all Tate's pages there without any commentary. And that's the backup channel. If you want, you can subscribe. I will leave the link in the description and also in the pinned comment. By the way, I think that Tate's speeches are far more better than emergency meetings. Tate's speeches are good. Like, I love Tate speeches. I'm gonna upload Tate speeches there, so must check out that channel. Let's back to the topic. A lot of guys just talk about money. By talking about money, you're never gonna make money. Maybe you're doing something. If you're doing something like I'm doing YouTube automation, and some other guys in our Discord talk, who are doing YouTube automation, we talk about how we can improve our videos, how we can get more views, how we can open second channels, how we can make more money by YouTube automation, by doing YouTube automation. Like, that's good. But if you're doing nothing and you only gonna talk about money, you only gonna talk about the world is evil nowadays, you only gonna talk about money, that's never gonna benefit you. Take some action, because you are the reason why you are not rich. You are the reason why people don't respect you. You are the reason why your girlfriend left you, because you are not enough. Maybe she had other option, so she chose the best one, and you stay loser. She gave you a chance, but after finding out that you are a loser, she left you. So what's the best move we can pull now? What's the best move? By becoming a fucking winner. And how we can become a winner? By taking action. We not only we not only need to talk about it, but we need to take some action. And taking action is so much important. Like, let me tell you about something, guys. Let me tell you about something important. I know a guy. He's one of my good friend, and he said to me that I also want to start a YouTube channel. I also want to start a documentary channel. But I think my English is not good. I don't have a mic. So I will work on my English, then I will start a documentary channel because I prioritize English. That's like, he is right. Everyone has their own point of view, but he's right. But this is bullshit. This is all bullshit. You know why? I talked to my one of my good friend. He has 46,000 plus subscriber on YouTube, and I just started a new channel. I already told you about it, Tate Speeches channel, and I told him and I asked him, how can I get more views? I don't get any views on my first video, on my second videos, and on my third video. He said to me that, do you really think your first video gonna get viral? You need to post at least 100 plus videos. He didn't said that uh, you need to post 100 plus video, but he said that, you really think your first video gonna be viral? That's it. You just, and I'm pretty sure he didn't start. I don't know if he started that channel or not, but I'm pretty sure he didn't start that channel because he prioritized his English. Look at me. I didn't have a mic when I started, but someone financially support me to buy a mic. Thankful to that guy. And my English is not that good. My English is not that good, but a lot of guys listen to me. And thanks for listening to me. I really appreciate that. And I'm gonna make sure that you learn a lot of information from me. But I'm the guy who take action. I'm not just flexing, but I'm the guy who take action, and you need to do the same thing. Maybe you don't have resources. Maybe your family doesn't support you, but I know that I need to bang my head against the wall until I win. I need to try again and again until I win, because nobody is coming to save me, and nobody is coming to save you. I know right now. I know that my family is not gonna support me. My relatives, cousins, brother, not gonna support me, not gonna fund me to fulfill my dreams. Any other friend or any other person in this world not gonna support me to fulfill my dreams, not gonna support me to achieve what I want. I have to do it by myself. I'm alone. I need to do it by myself because I'm alone. Nobody is coming to save me. And that's the reason why I took action. Because, the world is very evil. They hate weak men, women, strong men, society, government hate weak men. They just don't care about weak men. The best move we can pull is to become a strong man. What I mean by strong, like 1% man, you need to be funny, you need to have a good conversation skill, you need to have money, you need to be in your good physical condition. I'm not saying that you need those things. You need to achieve those things in order to date a girl. When you achieve all these things, you stop caring about girls. When you achieve money, when you achieve your dream physique, when you know how to talk, you just don't care about girls. But I'm saying that do it for yourself so you can be the best version of yourself. You can be the top 1% man. You need to make yourself proud of you. You need to make your parents proud of you. That's it, bro. And that's why I'm here motivating you to take action. Because if you take action, maybe you have a business idea and you start talking about maybe you want to sell apples in your hometown and you're thinking about what other people think about you. Stop caring about what other people think about you and take action. Because by taking action, the only way to win is by taking action, no other way. By thinking or by telling people that I'm going to do that, I'm very motivational person, I'm very energetic person, you're not going to win. I'm telling you, bro, you're not going to win. And nobody cares about you until you can provide something, until you can provide entertainment or education or information or motivation or energy or time or money. God bless you guys. Enjoy your life and work your ass off.